Well, howdy, y'all. Welcome back to New Script on the Block. We're back with another episode of Cowboy, the Legend of Billy Tate, written by Geoffrey Goldstein. And New Script on the Block is when we take a read at the script and talk to the writers and talk through the processes and everything. And you can find episodes like this on our SoundCloud, our Apple Podcasts, and our YouTube. So if you like hearing the processes of writing or any other film industry tidbits and doodads, you can give us a subscribe and listen to us here on our podcast. Here we go. And so we're going straight into the next section of Cowboy, the Legend of Billy Tate. So there are previous episodes of Billy Tate. We are on number what currently?
3.
All right, so this is the third episode.
This will be the third one.
Yeah, episodes 1 and 2 are on our SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
So
which they can find at Arizona Studios on those platforms.
Yes, on our Arizona Studios platforms.
Also, you should probably listen to those first. That way you have, a clear understanding of what's happening instead of, just jumping right in.
Speaking of jumping right in, Geoffrey, if you want to go on and start the narration.
Will do. So we're in the Cartwright's home in the backyard today. Scout and Dusty, Kelsey's horse, enjoy each other's company tied along the fence. Billy, Kelsey, Doctor, and Mother sit at a picnic table. Empty lunch plates litter the table. In the background, Max and Spencer play cowboy and Indians in the yard.
I get to be Billy this time.
You were Billy 2 times in a row. It's my turn.
Billy, look at all the problems you're causing. My fee just doubled.
I'm certainly sorry, sir. I didn't mean to cause a ruckus. Since I'm clean out of money, I guess I'll be leaving now.
Billy, don't listen to him. He's just being silly.
He's just Billy silly.
Billy silly. Billy, don't listen to him. He's just being silly.
I know that, ma'am. I'm just trying to be silly back at him.
Weren't you afraid the Indians would scalp you?
Well, Miss Kelsey, it crossed my mind at first, but seeing the Navajo only scalp you after a battle with you, I was per sure that wasn't going to happen. I was in no position to be battling anyone. I learned me a thing or two about scalping, too. You see, Navajos only scalp you if they don't have no respect for you. And by that time, I think I had earned theirs. Anyways, if they did go and kill me, I figured I wouldn't be needing my hair no more anyhow.
Billy being taken in by the Navajo was an amazing experience. We're led to believe that they're all heathens and ruthless killers.
I'll say this quiet-like, because Half-Breed's mom and pa were killed for this very sort of talk. But that kind of thinking is a bunch of horse manure. Ma'am, I'm mighty sorry for bringing that kind of language to your table, but that's the only word I could think of in a short order to describe it.
Billy, how is it you're riding a beautiful horse like Scout, being that you rode in on a stubborn mule and all?
Well, Miss Kelsey, that's another story, and by now I'm sure y'all are tired of hearing them.
Son, I think I speak for my whole family when I say that I doubt we could ever get tired of hearing your stories. Boys, it's time for pie.
Daddy, I don't want no pie.
Pie is for babies.
Billy's having a pie and he's about to tell the story of how he came upon Scout.
Max and Spencer scamper to the table. With their best manners, they take their places and fix their eyes on their new hero. Billy, did you get to wear feathers and shoot a bow and arrow?
Pa, we got a real cowboy and an Indian right here in our house.
Max, it seems we do. However, it's best for everyone's safety that we don't advertise it to the world. It will be our little secret that Billy lived with the Indians, okay?
Okay, Pa.
Doctor looks to Spencer. Yes, sir.
And technically, I ain't full-blooded Navajo Indian no-how. Heck, I ain't even a half-breed like my friend. I don't really understand the blood thing anyways. I've seen more than my share of it, and it all looks the same to me, no matter who you are. Sir, doing all your doctoring, I'm sure you can be witness to that.
That I can, Billy. That I can.
Flashback, exit field day. Half-breed atop a beautiful painted horse and Billy atop his mule ride through a field. Blackhawk and Lightfoot supervise from afar. Now, keeping with tribal customs, names are given based on how you're seen by the tribe. For obvious reasons, they named Billy Doskin Hansen, which loosely translated in Navajo means mule rider. Character vocal transition.
I didn't like it much, but after making me family and all, I just accepted mule rider and said thank you.
Half-breed rides up next to Billy and dismounts.
Half-breed, I don't need no schooling or riding. I've been riding horses since I was a kid.
Yeah, I know. I saw you riding that mule across the creek.
Yeah, well, that was what they call an isolation incident.
I know. You were in isolation 'cause your mule wouldn't cross.
And don't be doing no correcting to my English. I ain't
Stupid? Yeah, I know. See that tree down yonder?
and I ain't blind.
You're right. I want you to ride down and round that tree just as fast as you can. When you pass, snap off a twig and bring it back to me.
Now, why are you making me do all that?
'Cause if you don't, I'm going to tell the chief you called me a dirty Injun, and someone's going to shoot an arrow through you. Right there.
Billy stumbles backward. Tree line. From afar, Blackhawk and Lightfoot atop horses monitor Half-breed schooling Billy.
They really seem to be bonding.
Blackhawk nods in agreement. Field. Billy spurs the mule. He does not budge. Again, Billy spurs the mule. Again, he stands his ground.
Since you was a kid, huh?
Now, don't be giving me no lip, half-breed.
Billy spurs. The mule digs in.
I know how to ride.
Another isolation incident, right?
Half-breed smacks the mule on the rear, and away they go. Galloping through the field, the mule rounds the tree, rides Billy under a low branch, and knocks him to the ground. Tree line. Blackhawk and Lightfoot grimace.
That's gotta hurt.
Gonna leave a mark.
Hey.
On his butt and his pride.
Blackhawk nods in agreement. Field. Blood trickling from a cut above his eye, Billy approaches the hysterical half-breed.
Very funny. I'd like to see you do that better.
Without hesitation, Half-breed mounts his horse. Riding hard, he skillfully rounds a tree and, in full stride, snatches a twig. Galloping like the wind, Half-breed delivers a twig to a mesmerized Billy. Tree line. Blackhawk and Lightfoot simultaneously give an attaboy nod to Half-breed's skillful ride.
What do we tell the chief?
We tell him Mule Rider lived up to his name.
Lightfoot nods in agreement. Flashback ends. Exit meadow, afternoon. Billy and Kelsey slow walk Scout and Dusty through a beautiful field.
Did all them things really happen to you?
Now, Miss Kelsey, why would I lie to you?
People got their reasons.
I don't know any of the people or reasons you're referring to, but I assure you I don't have none of them. Why are you asking me those kind of stupid questions for?
They ain't stupid questions, Billy Tate. I'm just beginning to not hate you as much as I used to.
Now, Miss Kelsey, we all know you never really hated me.
Yes, I did. I hated you plenty.
And what exactly were the reasons you hated me plenty?
It doesn't matter much now, Billy. The fact is that now I'm beginning to kind of like you.
Well, I do appreciate your liking me and all, Miss Kelsey. You've done made my day.
Whoa.
Whoa!
What
That
a
Billy's?
conversation!
Sorry.
What is that crazy device going?
I didn't know Billy's got AT&T. I didn't. Sorry
Oh,
about
gotcha. Man, it's amazing you got service out here.
that. Right? I thought I had moved. I'm sorry, guys. It was such a great,
Okay.
such a great exchange too. I'm sorry I got. Go ahead.
But Billy, liking has to go both ways, and I was wondering if you're beginning to like.
Out of nowhere, Max and Spencer gallop past.
Billy, race you to the river.
I'd take that as a personal challenge. Miss Kelsey, I gotta go.
Billy spurs Scout. The race is on.
But Billy, you were supposed to be riding with me. I hate you, Billy Tate.
Field. Billy rides up on Max and Spencer.
Yeah!
Scout hits overdrive as Billy takes the lead. Billy, wait up!
I'll meet you cowgirls at the river.
Scout and Billy gallop away. River. Billy dismounts, sheds his shirt and pants, dressed in just his drawers, and he dives in. Spencer and Max arrive at the river. Max dismounts, undresses, and joins Billy in the river. Spencer remains on his horse.
Come on, big brother, get in.
Spencer looks away.
Spencer, it ain't cold. Get in.
Spencer ignores Billy.
He's bashful.
Spencer, it's just us boys. No one is gonna see you in your drawers but Max and me.
He don't like it when anyone sees him in his drawers. Not even me.
Okay, Spencer. I'm gonna look the other way. You undress and get in, okay?
Okay, Billy, but don't look.
I promise I won't.
Spencer dismounts and begins to undress. One leg out of his pants, Kelsey rides up.
Uh-oh.
Spencer notices Kelsey's arrival. Stumbling to put on his pants, he rushes behind a tree.
Now, Miss Kelsey, look what you've gone and done. Now, Miss Kelsey, look what you've gone and done. There we go.
What I gone and done? I didn't do nothing.
Spencer, put on your pants and come back.
Max, why are you in that river in your unders?
They call it swimming, Miss Kelsey. Looks like you haven't gotten to that part of your schooling either.
Billy, whatever your name is, I know what swimming is.
Billy exits the river and approaches Kelsey.
Good, then I guess you won't mind if I school you in a swimming lesson.
Billy sweeps Kelsey off her feet and throws her over his shoulder.
No, Billy, no!
Billy walks Kelsey into the river.
Billy, you put me down now.
Billy ignores Kelsey.
Billy, I swear to Almighty God.
Billy dunks Kelsey. They resurface together.
Billy, look what you've done.
I know exactly what I done. I kept you from blaspheming the Lord.
Kelsey struggles back to the shore.
I hate you, Billy. Billy, whatever your name is.
Mama said you shouldn't be taking the Lord's name in vain.
I don't care what your mama said. I hate you.
Flustered beyond belief, Kelsey attempts to mount Dusty. Falling to the ground, Kelsey, dirty dress and hair, attempts unsuccessfully to regain her composure. On a second try, she mounts Dusty.
But on the way here, you told me that you didn't hate me no more. Make up your mind, girl.
Girl, I don't care what I was telling you back there. I changed my mind, and now I hate you again.
Kelsey gallops away.
That's one spirited sister you got there.
You should try living with her.
Billy dives into the river. Max follows. Interior, Cartwright's home, kitchen soon after. Mother tends to supper as Doctor reads the paper at the kitchen table. Drenched and irate, Kelsey enters and slams the door shut.
I hate him, and I never want to see him again.
Gee, Pa, I wonder who she's referring to.
Kelsey, what happened to you?
Billy attacked me and threw me in the river.
He did, really?
Yes, he did, like a vicious animal, and for no good reason.
Doctor smiles and returns to reading.
Well, Daddy, aren't you going to do something? Are you going to let some no-good varmint treat your only daughter like that?
Well, Daddy, are you?
No, Mother, I'm not. It's about time someone did something about that no-good varmint investing in our home.
Well, finally, someone's listening to me.
Daddy, what did you think we should do about that horrible boy? That no-good vermin? Who's seen his whole family and friends massacred right before his eyes?
Well, Ma, there's only one thing we can do. Kelsey, come with me. I'll need your help.
My help? Why do you need my help?
Well, to pack Billy's things, of course. I can't let a no-good varmint who nearly killed my only daughter stay in this house.
Normally, I'd pack him some provisions to take on the road. But in this case, forget it. That no-good varmint don't deserve no provisions. He deserves for us to call Sheriff Joe and have him thrown in jail for what he did to our only daughter. For attacking and near-fatal drowning of you and all.
Well, he didn't actually attack me. It was more like an assault of sorts.
Oh, really? What kind of sorts, Kelsey?
And he didn't really try and kill me or nothing, or anything. He just dunked me in, but I could have drowned just the same.
Kelsey Catherine, Daddy taught you to swim when you were a baby.
Yes, ma'am, he did. But Billy didn't know that.
Kelsey, either he tried to kill you or he didn't. Now make up your mind, girl, 'cause God is watching, and he don't take kindly to liars.
No, ma'am, he didn't actually try to kill me.
Kelsey, girls and boys are different. When a girl likes a boy, they tell him. When a boy likes a girl, they show him. And boys of his age will show you in non-traditional ways.
I don't like Billy, whatever his name is.
Kelsey, what did I say about lying in front of God?
Okay, I kinda like him.
Kelsey.
Okay, I like him a whole bunch. but he doesn't seem to want to say he liked me back.
Kelsey Catherine, my oldest child, did you listen to anything your daddy just said?
No, ma'am, not really. I was too busy trying to figure out what Billy wants from me.
Kelsey, what he wants from you is compassion and understanding. He may seem like a man because of everything he's been through. However, on the inside, he's still a boy. Those men killed more than just his family. They killed any chance for him to have a normal childhood. He's busy trying to figure out how he's going to survive in this crazy world by himself, not what some love-struck girl is thinking about him.
I'm not love-struck.
Mother glares.
Okay, maybe I am.
Kelsey, give the boy time to get to know you. He's the type that judges someone on their actions, not their words.
And so far, yours have been questionable at best.
So, you think he doesn't like me because of the way I acted?
Kelsey, what we are trying to tell you is that he doesn't know what to think right now. The boy's been through a spell worse than the devil himself.
Give him some time to get to know you, to see what a beautiful person you are on the inside. When he's ready, he'll show you how it feels.
Kelsey, this will happen in God's time, not yours. And if you keep getting in the way, it may never happen.
Max, Spencer, and Billy crash through the door. Hey, Mama, I went swimming in the river without my pants on.
I don't know if I like the sound of that. We were just having fun, Mama. It's the first time Spencer had ever been in the river wearing just his drawers.
How'd he do?
Swam like a fish, sir. You taught these boys well. They can't outride me, but I'm not staking any money on swim race for sure. We came back early because I wanted to be sure you weren't suffering from any post-drowning fits from the events that transpired at the river, Miss Kelsey.
That was very nice of you, Billy.
I'm fine, I guess.
I'm darn glad to hear that. The way you were hooting and hollering down yonder, I was kind of worried I'd come back and find Sheriff Joe and his posse waiting to string me up.
I wasn't hooting and hollering, Billy Tate.
With attitude, Kelsey exits.
Sir, have I told you?
Yes, Billy. Yes, you have.
Max and Spencer exit the kitchen door. Billy follows. Exit O'Brien's home, modern day. The mailman approaches the O'Brien's house. Awestruck, he stops at the gate. Kids from around the neighborhood sit on the grass waiting for him to arrive.
There he is!
Mailman, box in hand, slowly opens the gate and enters the front yard. James approaches.
I hope you don't mind me telling the rest of the story to all my friends, to all our friends.
I have your Xbox, James, but it came a bit earlier than expected.
We've been waiting for you.
Apparently.
I've asked a few more friends over if that's okay.
The older I get, the smaller my crowds. This is a welcome change. Absolutely, the more the merrier.
You can put the package on the porch.
It'd be my pleasure. You're going to have to give me a minute, however. I need to make a quick call. The mailman reaches in his pocket and produces a cell phone. Looks like Mother's going to be eating dinner by herself again tonight. Mailman smiles as he puts the phone to his ear. Exit field day montage. Atop horses, half-breed, Blackhawk and Lightfoot give Billy atop the mule riding lessons. By now, Billy had become a full-fledged member of the Navajo Nation. His incredible spirit and infectious personality had made him a celebrity of sorts among the tribe. Billy rides hard towards the tree at the end of the field. He rounds it, grabs a twig. Holding it high above his head, he's clotheslined by a low-hanging branch. Blackhawk and Lightfoot grimace as they watch another painful fall. The chief decided the best way to honor, thank Billy for his courageous deeds was to teach him the ways of the Navajo people. Riding, hunting, and respect to the land were paramount to his survival. Riding past Blackhawk and Lightfoot, Billy gets an encouraging nod. Woods, rifle in hand, Blackhawk shows Billy how to properly shoot a rifle. Later, moving stealthily through the woods, Billy eyes a deer. He aims, shoots, and misses. The deer scampers away. It is said that if you want to help a hungry man, you don't give him food, you teach him how to provide for his family. So that's exactly what they did. Montage interrupted. Forest. Small doe gazes. Billy aims and fires. Missing by a mile, the doe scampers away. Watching in disgrace, Blackhawk and Lightfoot give a simultaneous grimace.
The wolves are going to have a way with him.
Blackhawk nods in agreement. Billy spurs the mule rears. Unable to navigate, holding the rifle and reins, Billy takes a nasty fall.
Forget the wolves. He's gonna die falling off the mule.
Give him time. It's only his 5th day of hunting lessons.
6th.
Patience. He improves with every passing minute.
Attempting to remount the mule, Billy stumbles backward. Bang! Discharging his rifle. Blackhawk and Lightfoot duck as the shot whizzes by. Lightfoot gives it a "you have got to be kidding" look to Blackhawk. Interior, teepee day. Blackhawk and Lightfoot watch close as tribeswomen show Billy how to make flatbread. Covered in flour, Billy tries his hand in making the Navajo staple food. A perfect sample lying on the table, Billy places his far less than adequate sample next to it. Tribeswomen laugh as a frustrated Billy continues his cooking lesson. Offering an unappealing second try, Blackhawk and Lightfoot give a simultaneously yucky look as Billy offers it for inspection.
Would you eat that?
Blackhawk gives Lightfoot a heck no look.
If he doesn't die falling off that mule, he'll die from starvation.
Blackhawk nods in agreement. Billy tries one more time. This time the flatbed slips through his hands and falls to the dirt. The tribeswomen laugh. Billy and Lightfoot drop their heads in shame. Field montage resumes. The chief joins Blackhawk and Lightfoot, monitoring Billy's progress in the field. Watching him fall off the mule, they grimace in unison as Billy takes his lumps. The chief steps backward. Blackhawk and Lightfoot listen intently as he speaks. Now this is the part y'all been waiting for. The chief, in all his infinite wisdom, realizes that Billy doesn't stand a chance riding that stubborn mule. The chief informs Blackhawk and Lightfoot of their wishes. They nod in agreement, mount their horses, and ride away. Navajo village that night. Billy cries as half-breed bridles Scout into a circle of tribesmen. He hands the reins to the chief, who gives Scout to Billy. In a ceremony fit for a true Navajo warrior, the tribe gives Billy a priceless gift. Tribesmen cheers. Billy mounts Scout for the first time. Woods the next day. Proudly atop Scout, Billy rides through the dense forest with Blackhawk and Blackhawk and Half-Breed. Spying a deer, he draws his rifle from the saddle holster, fires, and downs the deer. Field. Blackhawk, Lightfoot, Half-Breed, and the chief watches Billy masterfully commandeer Scout, galloping through the field, rounding the tree, snatching a twig, racing back, and respectfully handing his prize to the chief. The chief nods with approval. Blackhawk and Lightfoot nod with approval. Half-Breed gives Billy a respectful heck yeah nod. Montage ends. As the group breaks up and heads back to the village, Blackhawk and Lightfoot atop their horses stay put. As Billy rides past, Scout grinds to a halt. Eyes meet.
Do you think he knows how proud he's made us?
Boy of his age knows very little.
Do you think he knows that we'll never forget him?
Billy gives a thank you nod and smile.
Now that he knows.
Lightfoot nods in agreement. Billy spurs Scout and gallops away. Forest trail following day. Billy atop Scout, loaded with saddlebags, and Half-Breed atop his horse, walk their horses side by side down a trail.
Half-Breed, I don't know how to thank you.
Then don't.
What do you mean?
I mean, don't thank me.
You saved my life. You introduced me to the tribe. You taught me how to ride. I think I owe you a whole bunch.
Half-Breed pulls up. Billy and Scout follow suit.
Look, Mule Rider, you don't owe me nothing.
All right. I didn't mean to make you mad.
Half-Breed and Billy continue down the trail. Minutes later, Half-Breed and Billy ride in silence.
Half-Breed, do you think about your parents very much?
Every minute of every day.
Me too.
Minutes later, exiting the wooded trail into a field, the horses pull up.
I reckon this is it.
Just get out of here and don't look back.
I was kind of thinking so long or something.
Just get out of here before I shoot an arrow through you.
Okay, Half-Breed. Bye.
Billy walks Scout into the clearing.
Billy,
Yeah, Half-Breed?
you can call me Bob.
Without hesitation, Half-Breed spurs his horse and hightails away.
You can call me Mule
Half-Breed and his horse disappear into the forest.
Rider.
Scout makes a 180 and gallops away. Exit field night. Billy and Kelsey lie next to each other, gazing at the stars.
And that was the last time I ever seen Half-Breed. I mean, Bob.
You really loved him, didn't you?
Seeing my brother was kind of taken out from under me, yeah. I loved Half-Breed like a brother. Actually, I grew to love everyone in the tribe. There ain't too many folks that'll take a complete stranger and treat them like family. I'll always consider them my second family. And now I consider the Cartwrights my third. I guess even with all the bad stuff that's happened in my life, I got a whole bunch to be grateful for.
Billy, you ever think about the future?
Well, Miss Kelsey, to be honest, I have a hard enough time thinking about the past. I figure the best way to do that is concentrate on what's happening in front of me right then.
Billy, I'm in front of you right now.
Yes, Miss Kelsey, I reckon you are.
Then concentrate on me.
I suppose after what I just said, I kind of owe you that.
Speaking of love, Billy, have you ever thought of falling in love and having a family? Hypothetically speaking, of course.
Well, hypothetically, I was thinking about that kind of recent like. Kelsey?
She's blushing.
Oh, I'm sorry, my mic. I muted myself when I said the line. Yeah, I'm so embarrassed. I can't handle it, Billy Tate.
I'm sorry,
Bye,
Kelsey.
dog.
I just, my charm is just so overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Oh, God. Okay. How recent like?
Miss Kelsey, I kind of think I know where you're going with all this, and actually, I'm sort of flattered. You're a beautiful girl, and a man would be a fool not to think so. But I'm still trying to get used to being a man and all.
How do you know I was meaning you?
Probably because I was meaning you. Miss Kelsey, I see you as a best friend right now. When I come back and set my stake around here, then I was thinking maybe we could go and consider something different. But until then...
Billy Tate, that's all I need to hear.
Kelsey snuggles up to Billy as they lie in silence, enjoying God's handiwork.
This podcast is brought to you by Arizona Studios. Arizona Studios, a full-service video content specialist. We're here to illuminate your message and compel your audience to take the right action. For more information, head to our website at arizonastudios.com and be sure to tune in for more content on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Cartwright home porch soon after. Doctor reading a book and mother knitting sit together on a porch swing. Hand in hand, Billy and love-struck Kelsey walk the pathway to the porch. Mother notices.
Good Lord, Father. Look what just walked in the yard.
Doctor raises his eyes. Noticing his googly-eyed daughter, he smiles.
Romeo and Juliet.
Juliet, for certain.
Max and Spencer bolt from the front door.
Daddy, what's wrong with Kelsey? Maxwell, Cartwright. You will mind your manners.
But Mama, she looks sick or something.
Yeah, she looks like them possums by the woodpile when we shined a lantern on them at night.
Boys, you will say nothing to your sister when they make their way up here. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Daddy didn't say nothing about talking to Billy.
Billy and Kelsey come within earshot. Hey, Billy, want to come in the house and play a game? Billy drops Kelsey's hand and runs up the walkway.
I take that as a personal challenge from both you little girls.
Billy runs into the house. Max and Spencer follow close behind. Like a zombie, Kelsey approaches the steps, drapes herself over the stair rail, and gazes into the sky.
Kelsey, how was the evening with Billy?
Oblivious to the world, Kelsey ignores Doctor.
Kelsey, Catherine, your father asked you a question.
How do you know when you're truly in love?
My goodness, look at the time. I have a stack of paperwork to attend to. A doctor's work is never done.
She's half yours, Father.
This one's all you, Mother.
Doctor exits.
Kelsey, come up here and sit by me.
Kelsey ignores Mother.
Kelsey, Catherine, Cartwright, get your rear end up here now.
Kelsey hightails it to the porch swing.
I'm sorry, Linda. I just feel so beautiful, right?
Linda, Kelsey, you will never use my first name when referring to me ever again. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, Mother.
Kelsey, what happened with Billy tonight?
I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I know, but I don't know. Maybe it's time we have a talk.
A talk? What sort of talk, Kelsey?
Oh, Mother, not that sort of talk.
Thank you, Lord.
Mother, the most wonderful thing in my entire life just happened.
I think.
Oh, boy.
Oh, good. I wasn't ready to read that talk. Mother, just like Daddy said, Billy showed me that he loves me.
And exactly, how did he show you this, child?
Kelsey stands and dances around the porch.
Oh, Mother. We laid in the field and looked up at the stars. Then he took me in his arms
And what, Kelsey?
and said he looked at me as his best friend.
A heavenly sigh of relief as Mother looks skyward and mounts thank you to God. Kelsey spins down, beelines back to Mother, and plops herself on the swing.
Then he said he wants to marry me and have children.
Billy? Said that to you?
He did.
In those exact words.
Yes, in those exact words.
Now, we are talking about Billy Tate, the one in the house playing games with your kid brothers?
Yes, of course, Billy Tate. Most wonderful man in the world.
Kelsey, what did I tell you about lying? You know, I'm going to let this one slide because I know those are the exact words you heard.
Isn't it the most beautiful thing you have ever heard?
Mother breaks the bear hug and puts her hands on Kelsey's shoulder.
Kelsey, my only daughter, I know how much you care for Billy, and I know that he cares for you. How much remains to be seen, but I caution you to slow down just a bit. I know you're sure of this, I really do. Kelsey, in real life, 1 + 1 doesn't always equal 2, especially when both sides of the equation are new to this kind of math.
Mother, why are you talking about school at a time like this?
I don't really know, little girl. I suppose when your head's foggy and you're searching for words, sometimes things just come out sideways. Kelsey, I know you love Billy.
No, Mother, I'm in love with him.
I know that, dear, and I'm very happy for you. Really, I am. I am certain Billy's feelings for you are honest and true. However, this is something you just can't rush. I suggest you pray on it. Ask God for...
Prayer? Mama, pray for what? God never answers selfish prayers.
Then I suggest patience, Kelsey. And when you pray for patience, be prepared to wait.
Wait? For how long?
That is the mystery of love, little girl. It happens in God's time, not yours.
And what do I do until then?
Remember, Billy leaves tomorrow. When he returns,
Oh, my Lord, he leaves tomorrow.
please forgive her for that.
Mother, he leaves tomorrow?
Yes, child. Yes, he does.
Oh, Mother, what am I going to do? How will I ever survive?
My dear girl, God has a way of sorting these things out. I think that somehow, some way, you'll make it.
Sobbing uncontrollably, Kelsey melts into Mother's arms. Exit front of Cartwright's home next day. Billy atop Scout says goodbye to Doctor, Mother, Max, and Spencer. Kelsey stands on the porch, holding back tears. Billy tips his hat, eyes meet. Kelly breaks down and runs into the house. Billy says goodbye as he headed out of town. He'd been at the doctor's recovering for the best part of 3 weeks. He really didn't want to go, but a real man does the right thing regardless of the circumstances. He gave his word he'd deliver the mail, and that's exactly what he was going to do. Billy and Scout gallop out of town. Boss's office day. Sitting behind a stack of paperwork, Boss notices Billy, mailbag slung over his shoulder in the doorway.
Where in the name of the good Lord have you been, son? We thought you was dead.
Well, sir, we were
Paiute.
ambushed by a war party of Paiute about 20 miles due south of here.
I know that
Paiute.
already. We found your partner's dead as a tree trunk and scalped on the trail. But no, Billy, what happened to you, boy?
I'm sorry, sir. I know I failed you, but I had good reason. I needed to recover from my wounds. It's not every day that a man gets shot through the shoulder with an arrow.
No, it ain't, Billy. And I ask for your forgiveness. I find myself just a bit short of compassion nowadays.
Boss runs around his desk, pulls up a chair for Billy, and takes a seat on the front of the desk.
Sit down, son. Don't be silly. You didn't fail me. You just got hung up for a spell. I'm sorry for your wounds, and I'm darn glad you're still with us.
Billy sits.
So am I, sir. It didn't look good there for a spell. As luck would have it, I found pert near the best doctor in these parts to help me do my healing. Actually, well, really I guess Scout found him. I was just all slumped over on account of that arrow through my shoulder and all.
Well, mighty fine, Billy. Mighty fine indeed. I got some bad news, however.
That being?
Well, Billy, it seems that the Pony Express is on its last leg. The telegraph lines have been strung all the way across the country, and the railroads are just about connected too. Seems we become what y'all call obsolete.
I'm mighty sorry about that, sir, being that you won't have a job and all. But I was coming in to bring you back the mail and tell you I'd done my last ride. I found me a family.
You found you a what?
A family, sir. In fact, it's Dr. Cartwright's family, the place where I had done my healing.
Billy, only you could turn getting ambushed and losing your partners into gaining a family.
I've become quite fond of them, and vice versa. I've made my mind to go back and settle in close to them.
I see.
Sir, I'm awfully sorry for quitting on you like this, but...
But nothing, Billy. I fully understand where you're coming from. From the family tragedy confronting you and this unfortunate situation with the ambush and all, I can't blame you for quitting. However, I'd like to make you one more proposition.
Sir, after the opportunity you afforded me, I'm willing to listen to any proposition you put forth.
Billy, with the current status of the Pony Express and all, most of my riders quit. The ones who are willing to work are down at the bar making mush out of their brains. I need a good man for one more ride, and I'll make it worth your while. I'll double your pay. It's an easy ride to Denver. You'll be back and forth in a couple of days.
Well, sir, my mind's kind of made up on this.
All right, son, you drive a hard bargain. You're going to get me in a peck of trouble for this, but I'm desperate.
Boss runs behind his desk and opens the drawer. Pulling out a coin satchel, Boss lays 3 weeks' pay on the desk.
That's 3 weeks, weeks, God.
Wait.
That's 3 weeks' pay in advance.
With a smile, Billy takes the money and stashes it in his pocket.
I believe I just got rehired.
Billy extends his hands to the boss. The two shake.
Yes, sir. I reckon I'll get started immediately, like.
Billy begins his exit.
Hold up just a minute, Billy. I got you a partner for the job. He's new, but a top-notch rider. A former rodeo star from somewhere down south. I think y'all make a fine team.
Billy stops dead in his tracks.
I do appreciate the thought, sir, but after what just happened, I mean with the ambush and all, I'd rather ride alone.
Billy, those trails are just too darn dangerous for just one man. After what happened to you and the boys, company policy dictates everyone has a partner.
I understand the policy, and it seems to make sense, but I'd still rather...
Billy, I lied to you. But I lied to you for a good reason. And now I'm gonna come clean. It ain't company policy. I'm the one who made this decision. Not only are you one of my best riders, I've grown quite fond of you. I wouldn't let you go out there by yourself any more than I'd let my own son.
Boss pulls a hanky from his back pocket.
Now, Billy, you wouldn't want me to lose part of my family like you lost yours. Now, would you?
No, sir. No, I wouldn't.
I didn't think you would. Now go see Barney in the mailroom. He's got your saddlebags ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Billy begins his exit and abruptly stops.
Sir, pay me in advance like you just did. How do you know I won't just take the money and go?
Because, son, you're Billy Tate.
Yes, sir. I reckon I am.
Billy exits. Exterior plains soon after. Billy atop Scout growls through the beautiful scenic landscape. Riding with Billy is Clarence, male 30s, a trail-hardened cowboy, and his horse Tumbleweed. Clarence is twice Billy's size. Now, Billy was committed to making his final ride for the pony. He didn't, however, feel the same commitment to his new partner. There was no doubt about Clarence's riding skills, but his people skills, well, let's just say that he and Billy didn't see eye to eye on most things. Billy and Clarence gallop into the forest and slow to a trot.
Whoa, Tumbleweed.
Clarence pulls up. Billy follows suit.
Oh boy, time for some chow.
Mr. Clarence, with all due respect, sir, I don't think that's a good idea. We're better off on the plains. This here is a perfect place for an ambush.
Clarence spits wad of chew at Scout's hooves. Scout takes a step backwards.
Oh really? You think this here's a perfect time for an ambush?
Clarence spits another wad of chew. Again, Scout steps backwards.
And what makes a boy like you such an expert on riding?
Well, not riding so much as basic life lessons and common sense.
So much common sense that during your last ride, them redskin bastards shot an arrow clean through you and killed them partners you rode with.
I tried to warn them, but they didn't listen. Now they're deader than a tree trunk.
Is that so?
Yes, sir, it is. You see, this here is technically Paiute land, and although our military claims it, well, it's what they call disputed land, so we'd be regarded as an enemy. And if they decided to ambush us, this is exactly the type of place it would happen.
Well, boy, I say it ain't. We stop here.
Clarence dismounts and ties up Tumbleweed. Around the campfire soon after, Billy and Clarence sit around the campfire eating the afternoon meal. Slightly spooked, Billy surveys the trees and tall brush for assailants. A branch snaps. Billy springs into action. Unholstering his pistol, he takes a defensive stance.
A little jumpy, aren't you, boy?
Billy surveys the landscape.
Boy, sit your ass down. You're ruining my meal.
Billy spins, aims his gun at Clarence.
My name is Billy Tate.
Taken aback, Clarence sets down his plate and stands.
You best put down that weapon, boy.
A stare down of epic proportion ensues. Clarence puts his hand on a sidearm. Billy comes to his senses and holsters his gun.
Boy, you really had me going for a minute. But let me make something perfectly clear. If you ever pull a weapon on me again, I'll kill you dead as them partners you rode with. Is that clear?
Billy is silent. Clarence sits and resumes eating.
So I reckon it's true what they say about you.
Billy ignores Clarence.
You know that you're part Injun?
Billy looks away.
You know, there's a rumor going around the pony that you're some sort a half? Oh, sorry.
Do you have that second page?
Yeah, I was like confused. I was like, why is it in it like that? It doesn't. Okay. A half a redskin trader, half something else. The devil only knows what the other half is.
Clarence sets his plate on the ground, burps loudly, and places a large dip of tobacco in his lower lip.
I ain't no half-breed, but I did live with the Navajo, the tribe I am honored to call my family.
Clarence stands.
What'd you say, boy? You're what? A stupid redskin traitor?
His food now covered in dirt, Billy sets down his plate.
I ain't no traitor.
Speak up, boy. I don't understand no redskin gibberish.
And I ain't stupid.
I heard it that time, boy.
Clarence kicks his dirty plate at Billy.
Now I'm going to take a piss. Clean my plate before we ride. You Injun-loving bastard.
Clarence spits a wad of chew at Billy's feet. As Clarence turns away, Billy jumps to his feet, pulls a knife, leaps on his back. Applying a chokehold, he presses the knife firmly on Clarence's throat. Clarence spins 360 degrees, wildly reaching over his shoulder, attempting to dislodge his assailant. Unable to shake Billy off his back, Clarence reaches for his pistol. Billy notices and kicks the gun from its holster. Bang! Gun hits the ground and discharges. Clarence grinds to a halt.
Now let me make a few things clear, Mr. Clarence. My name is Billy Tate. I ain't no traitor, and I ain't stupid. Furthermore, if you ever insult the Navajo or my family again, I'll slice your throat from ear to ear.
Billy tightens his chokehold and digs a knife into Clarence's neck. A trickle of blood drips from the cut.
Is that clear?
Clarence nods yes.
Let me hear you say it.
Boy, you're plumb crazy.
My name is Billy Tate, and I'm not your boy. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, who?
Yes, Billy Tate.
Soon after, Billy and Clarence are repacked and ready to ride. Clarence spurs Tumbleweed and gallops down the trail to the left. Billy and Scout trot down the trail to the right. Plains soon after. Billy gallops like the wind through God's country. It was obvious that Billy and Clarence were never going to have a meeting of the minds. And in this come-to-Jesus moment, Clarence got the message loud and clear. Splitting up was the only solution that made any sense. Approaching the creek, Billy slows to a trot and confidently commandeers the shallow water. Now, Billy was a proud member of the Navajo Nation. They taught him to live it with integrity and treat people with respect. He learned that standing up for himself and fighting back when it's absolutely necessary is the right of every man. Billy made a decision long ago that no one would ever take advantage of him again. After what he'd been through, nobody could argue with that. Scout grinds to a halt as they approach a mountain of red rocks. Billy and Scout maneuver through the beautiful scenery. Brimming with pride and longing to finish his last ride for the Pony Express, Billy had one thing on his mind: getting to Denver, delivering the mail, and getting back to the Cartwrights. But his pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. Boulders. Minutes later, Scout pulls up. Too much can have grave consequences.
Scout, what do you see, boy?
Billy notices rifles and arrows creeping through the bushes. Bang, bang, bang! Billy side saddles, races Scout behind a group of boulders, and dismounts.
That was a close one, boy.
An Indian brave appears atop the boulders. Bang! A shot rings out, striking Billy in the arm. Billy draws, shoots, and kills the brave. The second brave jumps from atop the boulders onto Billy's back. Throwing him over his shoulder, Billy shoots and kills his attacker. Scout rears up at the side of a third brave atop the boulders. Billy somersaults forward and fires. The dead brave tumbles to the ground. The Paiute retreat. Ripping a piece of cloth from his shirt, Billy ties a tourniquet around his bleeding arm. Climbing to the top of the giant boulders, Billy spots his assailants regrouping for another attack.
Scout, look what I've done now.
Surveying the landscape, Billy notices Paiute reinforcements arriving. Billy leaps to the ground.
They're surrounding me, boy. This don't look good.
Shielding him from harm, Scout steps in front of Billy, nudges him against the rocks.
I appreciate your concern, boy, but it ain't gonna help this time.
Grabbing his noseband, Billy looks Scout square in the eye and gives him a kiss.
You done all you could. I guess this is goodbye. I love you. I need you to show the Cartwrights where to find me. Now get.
Scout stands his ground.
I hate for it to end this way. One of us has got to make it out of here alive, and it ain't gonna be me.
Billy fires a shot over Scout's head. Scout stays put. An arrow flies past Billy and bounces off the rock behind him.
Go on, get!
Scout gallops away. Escape trail. The Paiute war cry is heard. A barrage of gunshots echo in the distance as Scout gallops to safety. Town, Main Street, soon after. Scout canters into town. Townsfolk gaze at the surreal sight of Scout's return, minus Billy. A search party was formed to look for Billy. The body was found behind those same boulders, riddled with 7 arrows. Scout slows to a walk as he approaches the Cartwright's home. Cartwright home, front yard. Through a window, Kelsey eyes Scout's return. Front door. An emotional Kelsey crashes through the door and rushes to meet Scout. The men on the search party tell the story of a battle which matched Billy against a Paiute war party. 7 Indian braves lay dead near his body.
Did they scalp him?
No, son. Billy was found with his scalp securely attached. Surveying the landscape and not finding Billy, Kelsey breaks down. Billy fought like a warrior. He died a hero with the respect and admiration of his assailants. Mother and doctor rushed to Kelsey's aid. Exit Main Street day. Scout pulls a coffin on a flatbed wagon down Main Street. Scores of townsfolk line the streets as a funeral procession of epic proportion rolls past. Walking alongside the coffin, Doctor, Mother, Max, Spencer, and Kelsey. Followed close behind sheriff's deputies, Boss, Clarence, and the entire Navajo tribe, led by Half-Breed.
Billy Tate referred to me as a spirited girl. The irony is that he was the brightest spirit of all.
The procession turns into the city graveyard. Period-appropriate American flags line the road to Billy's final resting place.
Billy was on this earth a few short years. In that time, he managed to touch the hearts of so many. It is said that integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching. Anyone who had the privilege of knowing him knew this to be the truth. He would be the first and only man I ever loved.
The funeral procession stops next to the gravesite. Pallbearers Black Hawk, Lightfoot, Half-Breed, and Boss lift Billy's coffin onto the back of the wagon and place it next to the grave. Graveside. Doctor delivers the eulogy.
Billy Tate was not a man of schooling or privilege. He had a few material possessions. However, what he had, he was grateful for. He was a boy like any other boy, with dreams of the future and the love of family. He was a man of faith. honor, and courage. Regardless of the unspeakable hardship in his life, he had an unwavering belief in the goodness of mankind.
Kelsey assists half-breed draping an American flag over the coffin.
Billy Tate trusted God and led by example. He changed my life and the lives of my family. No matter how long I live, I will never forget him. Billy was a boy who became a man as fast as a bolt of lightning hits the ground. I am honored to have known that man.
Kelsey looks at Mother.
Now he's with his family in heaven, exactly where he deserves to be.
Billy is lowered into the ground. Credits roll. Exit planes modern day. Panoramic view of the plains. The same shot as the opening scene. 3 riders come into view. James rides Scout. Keith rides the mule with no name. Alberto rides a beautiful Arabian. All 3 wear red, white, and blue t-shirts and cowboy hats. The 3 pull up simultaneously. The camera zooms in on the shirts. They read First Annual Billy Tate Ride for Children's Charities. The 3 motion off screen to be joined by the entire cast and crew wearing the same shirts. The cast waves at the camera as everyone makes a 180 and walks into the sunset. On screen, Chiron. Wild Bill Hickok and Buffalo Bill called Billy Tate the bravest man they'd ever met. Despite folklore, the Pony Express operated for only 18 months. It was put out of business by the Telegraph and Railroad. The end.
Wow. What a sad ending. Okay, fantastic. Well, I'll go ahead and say that for now we should wrap up this episode of New Script on the Block and make sure that our audience tunes in next time when we get to interview Jeff in a little bit more detail and learn more about where he's going with this project. It sounds like there's a lot going on with it, so I'm looking forward to talking more about that.
You're right. There is. We're in funding right now, and we've got an incredible cast of people involved in this project, attached to the project. And if anybody has IMDb Pro, they can go to IMDb Pro under either my name or Cowboy: The Legend of Billy Tate and find out more information on who's attached to the project.
Fantastic.
Nice.
All right. Well, hey, if no matter who you are, why you're listening, please tune in next time to hear a little bit more about this project. And whether you love listening to independent screenplays, watching how big blockbuster films were made, or just having fun with us talking about screenwriting, we're glad that you tuned in. Go back, listen to the past Billy Tate episodes. If you haven't already heard them, you can find all of our episodes at Arizona Studios on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Tune in every week on Wednesdays for a new episode of New Script on the Block. That's about all. I mean, anyone got anything else to add before we send off?
In the middle there, it got real cutesy, and I don't know. I liked the humor in between Billy and Kelsey's interactions with each other. I thought that was really sweet. But we'll get more into that in the next episode, so stay tuned.
Ashley, you did a great job playing Billy. Everybody did a great job. Thank you guys so much for reading.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us. We really appreciate it, Jeff. You've been amazing.
My pleasure.
All right. You'll hear us next time.